First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
January 1st, 2014, will you have to pay the tolls to go through the Midtown and the downtown tunnels? Well, Portsmouth State Senator Louise Lucas successfully got a budget amendment that said there would be no tolls collected until 2014.
But there could be constitutional questions. We first reported this on WAVY.com this morning. Andy Fox is live in Richmond on Toll Watch. Andy, what's going on?
Tom, remember last week when I said to you it's never over until it's over? Well, we might be at that stage. We don't know what this means, but I can tell you this, that the governor's office consulted with the state attorney general's office to find out if it's constitutional to delay tolls, as Senator Lucas wants, until January 1st, 2014. To determine if there's any legal issues, the governor sent this to the state Commonwealth's attorney. Now, this is the statement that I received from the governor's office. It says, during that review, concerns were raised that any action by the General Assembly in regard to legislation changes to a legally binding contract would run afoul of established law. That information has now been passed along to the Senate Finance Committee, and the people behind the scenes are aware of this. This came to light because 10 on Your Side obtained a copy of this talking point that came from the Commonwealth. The governor's office wants to make sure that we are reporting it did not come from his office, and it did not. It came from the Commonwealth in general, and this is what they're dealing with. I asked Senator Louise Lucas what she thinks about this change.
They're trying to say it's unconstitutional. What's your response? That you're interfering with a agreed upon contract?
Well, let me just say this. It is the General Assembly that's concerned about this issue. That's not something that I didn't know about. That's the reason why the language was changed to say notwithstanding any provision of law. That opens a door for this amendment to be agreed upon. And I think that's what people don't understand about the legislative process.
Now, that is Senator Louise Lucas's interpretation. This is Mayor Kenny Wright, Mayor of Portsmouth. What did you think about today? Of course, her amendment passed the full Senate. That's certainly good. Are you troubled by any of this other legal stuff that we're reporting?
No, I'm not, Andy. I think this is a great day for the citizens of Hampton Roads and the Commonwealth of Virginia. I understand the issue that the governor is bringing up, but we're also bringing up the whole issue of constitutionality of the whole act. So this is a good day. It's I think
in the beginning, you were always optimistic. You were always hopeful to me. You said, Andy, we have not seen the end of this, when others were saying that it's a done deal.
That's exactly right, and that's what I want to make clear here now. This is a great news for Hampton Roads, but also we need to aggressively pursue the constitutionality of this act. We got a 2-year delay, but we cannot rest on this. There are issues in this contract, there are terms in this contract, there are things that has to be challenged, Andy.
Okay. Mayor Kenny Wright, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And what the mayor was referring to is there is a possible lawsuit out there that is being put forth by Kenny Alexander, and he has hired an attorney to bring up the whole constitutionality of the entire agreement, saying that it is unconstitutional, that you can't have unelected people like VDOT and the Elizabeth River Crossings partnerships putting tolls, which they are saying are taxes, on the people when they aren't elected to do so. So I am telling you right now, this is not a done deal. There are a lot of legal issues involved, and this is only the 3rd inning of a 9-inning game. We'll keep you informed, and we'll have another update coming up on WAVY News 10 at 6. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Andy. The U.S. Supreme Court is taking on President Obama's health care reform law. The big question, does the president's plan violate the Constitution? 26 states, including Virginia, sued to have the law thrown out. 10 on Your Side's Steve Handelsman has developments in the first day of arguments.
Outside the High Court, both sides rallied, backers of Obama health care.
We want all Americans to be able to opt for the health care that they need rather than the health care that they can't afford.
In a new poll, 2/3 of Americans want Obama health care thrown out.
I believe it violates the fundamental nature of the relationship between a government and a citizen.
Can anything that happens out here, can public opinion affect the rulings in there? Justice Clarence Thomas said no. He called this kind of thing background noise, not a distraction. But the 9 justices recognized this is a blockbuster case. 3 days of oral arguments. Today's was on the Obama fine for refusing to buy health insurance. Is that a tax? Conservative Justice Antonin Scalia.
There's at least some doubt about it.
Liberal Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
And this is not a revenue-raising measure because if it's successful, nobody will pay the penalty.
If the fine is ruled not a tax, the High Court can move immediately to the constitutionality of what the White House now calls Obamacare. Rick Santorum showed up, hoping for a ruling repudiating the plan pioneered by his Massachusetts rival.
The reason that I talk about Obamacare and its impact on the economy and fundamental freedoms, and Mitt Romney doesn't.
The justices talk tomorrow about the requirement to buy coverage, the mandate. It's the main complaint about Barack Obama's health care plan. Santorum here today is a reminder. This U.S. Supreme Court could have an effect again on a presidential election. From the High Court, I'm Steve Handelsman for 10 on Your Side.
And you can follow along with the latest coverage from the Supreme Court rulings by clicking on the On Politics button on WAVY.com's homepage. You'll be redirected to our complete political coverage site, where you will see the latest headlines and interactive explaining what you can also expect in the 2010 reform law in effect. While on the page, you can also see social reactions and also see what others have to say about the reform.
Well, the sun is back after taking the weekend off, and it's going to stay with us for quite a while. That's the good news. So what is the downside as we look at this sunny picture through Tower Cam 10? Let's ask meteorologist Jeff Edmondson, who's in the Super Doppler 10 Weather Center.
Yeah, for this evening, that kind of clear sky that we have, it's going to be really deceiving. It's going to allow colder air to kind of sneak into the area. You can see the temperatures right now, though, actually very nice. In Suffolk at 72 degrees, Ahoskie at 72 degrees as well. I'll take those temperatures. But the key thing is, though, outside, and you've probably noticed it throughout the day today, it's that wind. The wind speeds right now from the northeasterly direction, around 22 miles an hour at the airport in Norfolk, northerly in Chesapeake right now, so very breezy. That's what we're going to be doing throughout the evening. We're going to be tapping into that colder air that's off to our north. See those blues and greens? Those are the 30s and 40s, so expecting temperatures to be getting cooler throughout the night with lows probably near 40 degrees. We'll talk about that forecast for the next couple of days and how cold we're going to be for tomorrow in just a little bit.
Investigators are still trying to figure out what sparked that fire that forced 4 people out of their home in Norfolk. Fire and firefighters say they could see flames when they responded to the house fire on Llewellyn Avenue around 7 this morning. Residents are already outside. No one was hurt.
Virginia Beach police say they've solved 5 bank robberies by getting one guy. Detectives say they spotted Leonard Teagle running from the Wells Fargo on Holland Road Friday afternoon as they got the radio call of the robbery. The suspect didn't hurt anyone during the holdup, and Teagle is also charged with robbing 4 other Virginia Beach banks since January 30th. They're listed right there. They include the Wells Fargo on Virginia Beach Boulevard, Independence and Little Neck Road, as well as the BB&T on Indian River Road. A Hampton church is giving away food to the hungry. Liberty Baptist Church is handing out some 1,600 boxes of food on Saturday, April 7th. The church says 1 box will help feed a family of 4 for 1 week. You're looking at video of people picking up food last year. If you or your family need food, you must call and register by Friday. The number is 951-0331. And don't worry if you don't have a pen and paper right now. We're going to repeat this number later in the newscast. Off limits to the military, why service members are being told not to do business with 2 car dealerships. Hear what one owner has to say and why he's appealing that decision.
Allergy relief. Some people swear by home remedies, including local honey. But do these remedies really work? Sit on your side, ask a doctor to separate allergy fact from fiction.
Her husband's accused of a deadly rampage in Afghanistan. The wife of a U.S. Army sergeant is talking about it to Matt Lauer. Hear what she thinks, or why she thinks her husband is innocent, and we'll also tell you why the death toll in that shooting spree has gone up. The wife of a U.S. Army sergeant accused of killing 17 Afghan civilians, mostly children, thinks her husband has been wrongly accused.
Carrie Bale says that she does not believe that her husband, Robert, was involved in that massacre. Chris Clackham has more in the exclusive interview.
It seems to me like I just don't think he was involved.
In an exclusive interview with today's Matt Lauer, Carrie Bales said husband Robert Bales is incapable of killing 17 Afghan civilians and therefore doesn't believe it.
I don't know enough information. This is not him. It's not him.
She says she's mainly convinced of his innocence because most of the victims were Afghan children.
And he is accused of killing 9 children.
Right.
Innocent children.
I have no idea what happened, but he would not. He loves children, and he would not do that. It's heartbreaking.
She's spoken to him by phone, but not about the incident, and when pressed by Lauer that the military's evidence might be strong, she stood firm.
I don't think anything will really change my mind in believing that he did not do this. This is not what it appears to be.
There's new evidence the deadly rampage may have been carried out in 2 waves, alleging Bales returned to the base after a first attack and then slipped out again to continue the killing. The U.S.'s commander in Afghanistan wouldn't comment Monday.
The investigators have and will retain my full support to let the facts take them where they may.
But General John Allen did confirm $50,000 payments to the Afghan families of each of the victims.
We've done that in the past, and in this case, it was appropriate, we believed, given the circumstances of this particular tragedy.
The death toll was raised from 16 to 17 because one of the victims was a pregnant woman. Chris Clacken, NBC News.
Bales is in a military prison at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. He faces 17 counts of premeditated murder and other crimes and could face the death penalty if convicted.
Well, this thick film of yellow is making many of us miserable, and you may be among those desperate for relief. Some people say the solution is a natural one. Honey. But does it really help your allergies? Ted on Your Side went to an expert to find out what's myth and what's reality.
And the next time you get the munchies, you might want to make some popcorn. We have new research on the hidden health benefits. Only Chopper 10 can show you these pictures of the pollen. Everything, yes, everything is coated in yellow. Allergy season has sufferers looking for natural remedies, too, to ease those symptoms.
Some are turning to things like locally grown honey to help build up an immunity to pollen. But do these home remedies really work? Really? Then on Your Side's Ava Hurdle went to a local doctor to separate the facts from fiction. Ava?
Well, Alvita and Tom, this is an area where merchants and doctors don't always see eye to eye. Skipper Farms at the Virginia Beach Farmers Market is having a hard time keeping locally produced honey in stock. 12 jars on the shelves this morning were down to 2 by lunchtime. Manager Stephanie Pippin told me just how this apparent allergy remedy works.
They say take a teaspoon a day, and over a period of a week or so it'll start to take effect, and because it's made with the same pollen that's causing your allergies, so over time it helps build up resistance to it, and it seems to be working. People swear by it and can't keep it on the shelves, like I said.
10 on Your Side turned to an allergist to ask about this.
The local honey, does that help my allergies? Will that help prevent any kind of allergy attack? And the answer is no, because the bees pollinate from flowers and clover, and people aren't really allergic to those things. They're allergic to tree pollen and grass pollen.
Another allergy myth, hay fever.
The term hay fever actually came from the season where they baled hay, and that was late August into September, and that's actually from ragweed. So they associated baling hay with ragweed problems.
Audra Wakeman takes her mowing seriously, but since moving here, she's bothered by pollen.
Totally different than Ohio. I mean, can't believe it, like how green it is. Like covers your car, and I have to like wash it like once a week just to get it out.
Dr. Radin admits pollen has showed up earlier this year than most, first with trees before moving on to grasses within the next couple of months. Now, those allergy symptoms can include itching, sneezing, and runny noses. Over-the-counter antihistamines can help, but if that doesn't work, it's best to consult a doctor. I'm Ava Hurdle, 10 on Your Side.
Other myths. Pollen from flowers is a leading cause of allergies. Experts say no, those pollens are not spread by wind. Insects transport pollen from flower to flower. Another myth. Short-haired pets don't cause allergies. Truth is, an animal's fur does not cause allergies. The culprit is a protein produced by glands in the animal's skin or their saliva.
Okay, then.
So there you have it. I'm just reporting what the experts are saying.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like sometimes stuff that we use really does seem to work. Doctors, sorry.
Yeah, well, let's ask a guy from Minnesota.
I know, yeah.
You just got here, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, the honey is a good idea, and I like to have pancakes or waffles for breakfast.
Good, too.
It tastes good.
Yeah, if I can just put a little extra honey on those breakfast treats, then all is good. But looking at our forecast, though, for this evening, things are still very nice out right now. I actually had my windows open. I'm not really affected by the pollen too much right now. I'm really lucky to not have to deal with it. But you know what? I might just be shooting myself in the foot by saying that, because tomorrow you'll probably see me have a red nose or something like that from dealing with all this stuff. But anyway, looking at temperatures right now, right around 64 degrees, Newport News, 63 in Virginia Beach. These temperatures are going to be getting colder fairly quickly throughout the evening. Now, it's not just going to be a normal cool down, it's that wind. It's bringing in the colder air. While at 70 degrees in Chesapeake, we won't see temperatures in the 70s for at least a good day or two here, because we're pulling in this colder air from spots from New York and really even from Ontario and Canada. So that's why we're going to be seeing temperatures cooler. Look at the wind gusts over the last hour here. Howling at the airport right now, 36-mile-an-hour wind gusts, 26 in Melfa. Temperatures are expected to be getting cooler overnight tonight, and this is going into tomorrow morning. So 30s are going to be on pretty much all of our temperature thermometers tomorrow morning as we start our day. You see it when you probably get in your car heading to work tomorrow morning. Now, throughout the day, we're still going to have that northerly wind, and what that's going to do is kind of cap and suppress that temperature, so we're not going to really warm up that much. This is by 2:30 tomorrow. Maybe a few 50s out there, 40s. Oof, what happened to the summer? Well, this is just a little return of spring, I guess, just for a day. Temperature is actually going to be below average tomorrow, but then they'll continue to stay cool for a little bit longer, but then Wednesday is when we probably will start to warm up. So what is really going on here? Well, we had the storm system. You can see it kind of right now over the Atlantic. It's spinning and moving out to sea, so not really going to be an issue. But that's what's pulling in that colder air. There's also an area of high pressure basically right around Ohio that's helping to kind of keep that cooler flow out of the north. We're going to see the sunshine, though, so we're not going to lose out on that, but it's just going to be one of those days with cooler sunshine across the region as we have those northerly winds. Now, they won't be as strong tomorrow. We'll probably see those wind speeds around 5 to 10 miles an hour for our day for Tuesday. So instead of having wind gusts up to 30, they'll probably be gusting maybe up to 15 at the most for tomorrow. Colder day, but starting to warm up then on Wednesday after we have a very chilly morning. There could be some frost inland for some areas as we go into the middle of our week. Before tomorrow, though, temperatures are going to be in the mid-50s out there. Cool and sunny day. Winds from the north-northwest right around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Those gusts really not going to be too much of an issue. 54 degrees in Virginia Beach, a lot of sunshine for your day on Tuesday. Williamsburg, you'll see a high of 54 tomorrow. Cool and sunny day, and along the eastern shore and northern neck, lower 50s for tomorrow. But it's going to rebound, though. It's just going to take a day, and then we'll see highs back into the 70s. Now, to get rid of that pollen, we need rain. We'll probably see rain on Wednesday night and going into Thursday.
Well, researchers have discovered a new pregnancy risk. We'll tell you what causes the hazard to a woman's health.
New questions in the Trayvon Martin case. Tonight at 5:30, we're learning why the teen was suspended from school the day he was shot and killed.
Liberty Baptist Church in Hampton is handing out 1,600 boxes of food on Saturday, April the 7th. If you or your family need a box of food, you want to call and register by Friday.
And as promised, here's the number to call, 951-0331. Heart attacks are often linked to smoking, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, but new research says pregnancy can also be a factor. Now, these heart attacks are rare, about 1 in every 16,000 pregnancies, but researchers at the University of Southern California say pregnancy-related hormonal changes leave women susceptible to clots. Eating raisins and drinking soy could bring down that blood pressure. Research at the American College of Cardiology found that munching a handful of raisins 3 times a day for several weeks helped lower blood pressure. The study also found drinking an 8-ounce glass of soy milk every day lowered blood pressure by about 5 points.
Okay, get this too, while we're on a health kick, popcorn could be healthy for you too. Researchers say that air-popped popcorn is low in calories, high in fiber, and has more antioxidants than fruits and vegetables. Who knew? The hulls of the popcorn, the stuff that gets stuck in your teeth, has the most antioxidants that prevents damage to cells and have disease-fighting properties. But cooking the popcorn in oil and adding all that butter and salt turns the healthy treat into a nutritional nightmare.
I knew there was something we had to worry about. An airport odor. It sent 4 people to the hospital. You'll hear it was in a passenger's bag that created a hazmat situation.
Are you driving less to save on gas? We're on your side to tell you how you could also save on your car insurance bill. Authorities said that rodent repellent in a passenger's bag created a hazmat scare this morning at Boston's Logan International Airport. A TSA employee opened the piece of luggage in a bag search room this morning. 4 workers went to the hospital after they complained of eye and throat problems and headaches. Passengers weren't impacted. Officials questioned the bag's owners but didn't file any charges. Police say the couple was heading to Beijing. Tonight at 5:30, a warning from the military about 2 local car dealerships.